Good morning, Pisces. Welcome to your general reading. My name's Clive. You're watching Emma's Tarot. This is a Sun, Moon, Rising reading for all Geminians, okay? Cross watchers, new viewers, subscribers, you're very, very welcome. Passers by, the curious of you, everybody's welcome. The only thing I have to say to you is please take the bits that resonate, leave the rest. If it doesn't resonate naturally, don't try and make it fit. This will just lead you to some wrong conclusions. So without further ado, what's going on for the sign of Pisces? Angels, spirits, guides, what's going on for the sign of Pisces? Here we go, the Devil card. Don't despair, there's healing taking place. There is a situation here that's too one-sided. A lot of you are still dealing with the ex or past relationships. You are feeling stuck. One or two of you could be dealing with somebody who's very narcissistic, very controlling, but there's a lot of lust and obsession here. And some of this lust could be you. Okay, this obsession. You seem very, very determined. Now, decisions you've made in the past have held your progress up. Okay, let me explain a little, let me enlighten you on that a little bit more. We all make decisions, okay? We have the free will to make decisions, but what we can't control are the consequences. And sometimes those consequences don't manifest themselves perhaps 1, 2, 3 years later. This is one reason why I say frequently in my videos, be careful what you wish for, because you may just get it. Okay, but it very rarely manifests itself how you think. Now, what I'm getting here is you are feeling trapped. All right, there is a lot of attraction here between you and somebody, but there's some decisions being made here on both sides, okay, or with all the people involved. Even if this is a work situation, indecision can quite often lead to this, trapping yourself, getting yourself stuck. And that's not a judgment on you. That's, it's just the way we humans are. I've done this myself. Sat there waiting for things to work themselves out. Sometimes they do, but sometimes we have to give them a little nudge. This is Capricorn energy. Okay, so you could be dealing with a Capricorn, but there is a lot of stress over this. Okay, there's somebody here in their head a lot. Now with you, this Nine of Swords, you've the worst is over. You're coming out the other end. There is light at the end of the tunnel. There is solutions to turn that into a 10, where a lot of realizations come into practice, and you actually come into terms with the past. I'm kind of getting there. There's been a very, very one-sided relationship. There's been a lot of attraction here, but perhaps the person you are dealing with are in a marriage situation or a contract of some kind if it's with work, and it's not so easy to get out of. But usually the devil shows up in readings. For me as a tarot reader, or the tarot readers might tell you different, but for me the devil shows up when decisions we make put ourselves in certain situations. But the good thing is with this, if you put yourself in it, you can get yourself out of it. Okay, but it's a question of not giving way to pessimism, depressive thoughts. There could actually be somebody here with an illness that you're dealing with, who is suffering from, God forbid, Alzheimer's or depression, severe depression. All right, but nonetheless, I know this all sounds a bit doom and gloomish, and you think, oh my God, where's this tarot reading going to go? What I'm getting is, like I say, the worst is over. For you, what I'm getting with this, the way forward is a better future. You've gone through a lot, and it's been very stressful. Okay, and for some of you, there has been, God forbid, violence here, but there's improvements here. You are dealing with somebody who's in and out of your life. Okay, not, I'm not saying all of you where there's violence involved. You know, the violence just came to mind where for one of you where you really feel threatened and afraid. Okay, somebody is really controlling you. Okay, but you can get yourself out of this. All right, it's a question of patience and working your way through it. In the past, yeah, you've been dealing with somebody, the majority of you have been dealing with somebody in and out of your life. Okay, you definitely have the impulse for freedom. You have the drive for freedom. Okay, you no longer want to be tied down. There is success coming your way. Somebody who's been in and out of your life now wants to deepen the relationship. But there's a lot of trust issues here. There was a lot of stress in the past. Perhaps this person, or you, wasn't in a position to commit. But somebody here, for the singles of you, somebody here is tired of the single life, tired of shallow relationships, tired of dating, it not leading to anywhere. You'd like to meet somebody, you know, who has the potential to be, you know, in your life for a lot more stable energy for a lot longer. Okay. Somebody who didn't want to commit now wants to commit. There's a complete fresh start. There's good news coming in. There's messages coming in. Okay, this person is very, very sincere. Now, for one or two of you, you're in a situation where there's a child involved. So there's the child to consider. So this doesn't surprise me. Okay, that you're feeling stuck because you're putting the child first, which is natural and laudable to you. You're thinking of somebody above you, okay, which is very laudable. But I'm kind of getting to the point here where for you to put yourself in a position where you feel free, where you feel contented, where you feel you don't have to justify yourself anymore, where there's no fear. It's a question of taking the plunge first. And energetically and spiritually, this is a time for being, to a degree, selfish, so that you can put yourself in sync. And then it's possible to love your children properly. Not saying that you don't now, but you're standing up in your own power. But there is fear here for some of you. There is definitely pessimism. Okay, and it's trusting your intuition, following your intuition. It could well be the return of a father here. Okay, and it's causing stress. They just want to make life awkward for you. But believe me, you can and you do have the power to, although the odds are against you, you do have the power to overcome those odds. There's a great opportunity presenting itself. Some of you are basically not interested. You'll dismiss this straight away. Now, for those of you that want to reconnect with, say, the father or child, despite what's happened in the past, you know, for some of you, there's a newness here. There's the past versus somebody new. Okay. Karma's coming back to you. The karma you put out in the past is coming back to you. And there's like a reset button here. It's about following your heart's desire. As I said, things are improving once you overcome your fears. Okay, there is a lot of confusion. Somebody has been keeping you in the dark purposely. There's been a lot of things going on behind the scenes. Okay, so if you're dealing with somebody who is married or involved with somebody else or as a child, you know, you feel like you're living in the shadow of that entity. That third party entity in that case is always going to be there, whether it's the child is on your side or their side. For the singles of you, you know, it's you stepping out literally into the light. It's stop trying to be somebody you're not. Be true to yourself. Follow your own heart's desire. You're becoming incredibly disciplined now. Like I said, the worst is over. You know, this is a bit like that Wheel of Fortune energy. You've been on kind of things against you and the odds have been against you for a long, long while. no situation lasts forever. Now you're on the upturn. There is a decision here to be made. I'm kind of getting, if you're dealing with somebody, okay, who's tried other things and now they want to come back to you, and that gives you victory over all the others. But I'm kind of getting here, you're laying down some conditions. Some of you probably might let the ex back in, but it's conditional. You're thinking about the moment now, okay, because you're not sure of their intentions. There's a lot of trust issues here, all right, but nothing you can't handle. This decision does come with challenges. It comes with conditions. It comes with, a metaphorical, energetical and spiritual line, and an emotional line for those of you that will let this person back in, okay, but there's a line of how far. I'm kind of getting, you are putting down conditions, you're putting down healthy boundaries, you're not letting yourself be drawn into a situation where you feel completely trapped that you can't get out of. There is a separation here. There's a lot of recovery going on. Okay. Now somebody here, for one or two of you, you could be dealing with a husband or a spouse or somebody that is very ill at the moment. Like I say, they could be dealing with somebody with an illness of some kind. What I am getting is recovery here, or things stabilising. Okay, for those of you that you're still dealing with the ex, all right, it's a question of seeing the truth in a very, very grounded way. Once you do that, then clarity will come in, because at the moment there's a lot of confusion around this. There's a very, very difficult decision here, okay, but there's a conflict of interests. You could well be dealing with a soulmate. Now, whatever your situation, there is a soulmate connection here. That's why it's not possible to entirely break it. It's bringing satisfactory conclusions to the past. There's an understanding where each other's coming from, that energy. This is where the success comes, through understanding and patience, which brings in new opportunities. Looking forward, not looking back, with a much more realistic attitude. Now, for one or two of you where there is a third party situation, even with no children, it's a question of deciding, you're in an energy of deciding who you want to be with and where you want to be. But you are looking forward in a much more realistic, with a much more realistic attitude. There is somebody who's keeping you in the dark. If you're dealing with somebody who's married, they are working things out slowly but surely. Kind of getting, they will come in. Okay. There's a lot of air energy around you. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Yeah. Possibly a Geminian, if that's the right term. Gemini. All right. It would seem things are turning around and you're getting a lot of attention here. But you're in control, believe it or not. Somebody may come in all domineering, but you're in control. Whether there's children involved or not, there's a fresh start here. And even a new career move for some of you. The situation is going to change irrevocably. Okay, partially through some decisions you're making. Okay, but some of this change is outside of your control. But what you can do is bring your imagination, put your plans into physical action. I'm going to leave it there. Thanks very much for watching.